My mother had no hospice experience whatsoever. She was not familiar with the process of hospice. All of the experiences that she had been people going to the hospital and dying, or going to a nursing home and passing away. And so to help my mom understand what was actually available, that it's so much more than just the last week of life or the last 2 weeks or whatever. It's so much more than just providing the pain medicine to keep them comfortable, that it is caring for the whole person. And I can't remember who it was that actually came to do the paperwork with us. I know that Kim, I think, she was there at one time as well. But they sat with my mom, and my mom asked them questions, and they were able to answer those questions. And by the time my mom finished asking the questions, and sometimes I would prompt her because I knew some of her fears. I asked them, would you kind of walk my mama through the process of what actually is provided for her and for my dad? And she could not believe all the things that you provided for her. I mean, from casseroles to the hospital bed, to the bathing of my dad, all the supplies that would be needed, his meds, and then weaning him off meds that he had taken for maintenance medicine and then putting him on the palliative care meds. I mean, all of those things, and it was like you could see just my mama, from being just tense and concerned, just kind of leaned back in the chair and began to relax. And to me, that was a gift that you gave her at the very beginning. And then living out that 6-month period and watching the process, my mom became very comfortable with the process because of the people. They gave great comfort to my mama, from the people that bathed my dad, and would help us feed him and help us give him comfort and teach us how to do that. Do you realize that most people don't know how to take care of someone? And so for them to come in and give me a little class on how to turn my daddy without hurting him, how to clean him without hurting him, how to bathe him without hurting him, how to wash his hair in the bed. There were so many of those things that John Q. Public has no knowledge of this if you've not walked the road. And for them to just come in and make sure that we understood, because you weren't there 24/7 like we were. And but to teach us and train us, that was such an important part of what you provided for us.
We had heard about hospice, okay? We knew that there were several hospice groups out there. Talking to the oncologist, I believe that he was the one that suggested Heart of Georgia Hospice. And we said, that's fine. And of course, when Heart of Georgia Hospice came to us and started talking to us, they said there are other hospices out there. If you would like us to, we'll set it up so you can talk to one, okay? But they were so nice, we didn't see any reason for it. So yeah, we went with that. I'm glad we did. I really am. Contact the other hospices or all of them and see which one may suit them best, and I'm sure they're not their finger's going to fall on you. I don't see how anybody could be any better. I really don't.
You try to answer all these silly questions that later on you realize they're kind of silly, but my thoughts were, is it too soon to call hospice? Is it too late to call hospice? How do you call hospice? When do you call hospice? And I don't know that there's a specific time, but mine was, am I calling too soon? And I wasn't calling too soon, because I had all these little things in my mind, if he lives past 6 months, will they leave me? Or if he only lives 3 days, is that not enough time for hospice to come in and help? And those are really not questions that you need answers to, but they're questions that I think hold you back from calling for help. I believe that if you've got someone that is passing away and you at some point in time feel that or you start knowing when the journey's kind of taken that end piece, just call them. And because of their experience, they'll walk you through the rest, and they'll hold your hand literally if you need them to. They'll identify needs for you if you don't know what they are, and show you the way. That was me. I wanted to make sure that whatever happened with him, that it was the best.